Good evening, for Enterprise fans, and welcome to the Eidolon Express tournament. My name is Garen. I'm here in the booth with Deathlike, with Rexel doing the tracking, and Beauty and Discovery doing the restreaming. How are you tonight, Deathlike?
I'm good. I'm seeing excitement just based on the hero because I like talking about this flag set because it's I would say it's the most interesting, at least of the three flag sets that is in this in this tournament.
Maybe seeing excitement. Our runners may be feeling terror at this point. It might depend on their preference. So yes, this is called the Mega Flare Rally flag set. What that means is we have party size limited to 3, and we have permajoins. So you make a decision, you're stuck with it, and that means our runners are stuck with Eddie as the hero. Number 1. And now the question is, how fast do you build your party? How long do you wait for your preferred character choice? And how party do you build? What do you think?
Well, depending on their party, their starting character, it can make they can make life easy or very difficult. And Eddie is one of them that makes life difficult. Getting him online requires throwing away a large treasure trove worth of money for the spoon. 100,000 GP will get you there, but yeah, you have to get to that point first. But the more important question though is what are your starting character assistant choices? So that means the character that will come down the Baron Castle as your starting possible starting second character. Then there's the Mount Ordeal's character, and then there's the Baron Inn character.
There's also the dice you want to try peeking
Yes,
it to
that
get
is
yeah.
that might be the most important one. Probably should at least peak that at the very least. But making an early mistake can be very detrimental, and you might have, in a really really bad worst case scenario, you might have to start over the seed because I could have waited a little bit longer for that character. And when you have a starting character like Edward this early, that your second character is far more important. If you had like a starting edge, you could probably defer, but Edward, your second character totally matters.
Yes. Well, I mean, with Edward heroes in this flag set, I like a web HP hero somewhere. It's like Protect Eddie, Zerk Eddie, with a Spoon. Because Spoon is pretty easy to get, just 100,000 gold. We can get a Curse Ring for 250,000 gold. We can get Adamant Armor for 500,000 gold. If you just want to say pedal to the metal with Eddie, we're just make him so fast that he's faster than everything. Our starting partner can be any of the 12 characters, but if we don't see a Tella, a Cecil, or a Fu at the starting partner, we will not see them in the seed at all. We're only going to see one of the other 8 choices. There is no character on the Giant, so the other 10 spots are where you might go to find your party. It would be cruel and you have to go to the Giant to find your only white mage. That would be just kind of cruel. Let's see. Other things to note here. The objectives are K-Main, Moon, the monster chests on the Overworld, and the Demist Hunt. And we've got a white mage. That's a Porum. I would take her.
Yep, those are one of those must-haves, or at least it's what I mean. If you get a black mage Palom, that would be just as well. It's fine. Probably may need a little help, but to at least get Porum slightly online, just get Cure to life.
Yeah. Well,
the wonder magics.
Good news here is we have some things in our kit to help us. We have exits in the starting kits to make life a little bit easier. We have unrestricted treasures on the moon. So one of the strategies this flag set is just go straight to the moon, loot all of the chests because it's vanilla boxes with monsters, and you know exactly where the safe chests are. And the loot is going to be best on the moon. You can loot it, sell it for a ton of cash, get some quests done. You might find the heroine robe and the Ari arrows for Porum. It looks like that is a Palom there?
No, it's a Porum, so that's not going to be of any use.
Yeah, second Porum, so yeah, no, okay. On a tiara there in the bookshelf. That's nice. If we had a Iridia. Want to just make this a maid party?
No, give it to Porum. She can wear a tiara just fine. the
Well, she can wear it. She doesn't get a whole lot of stat use out of it, though.
no, I magic evasion multipliers are still premium, I think. but like the likelihood that Porum will get the adamant is actually pretty high, because you want your white mage to live, so that Edward can be revived with life 2 ideally. But we'll see how many levels we'll get. But I do like the looting early. You want to definitely still loot some places other than the moon, because the moon accessibility for a lot of the loot. I mean, you could probably loot the LST unfazed, because if you remember where all the spots are, and actually brush up on where all the exact monsters that are in the boxes happen to be, because I kind of forget I always forget where all the crystal armor, the whole set is. It's always a mystery, which is a Bimmy and Jimmy sometimes. But with all the uncapped loot in the moon, you still need to. I don't think strictly looting in the moon is ideal. I do have a nice spot. You know where the hair dryers are, in the lunar path. The 2 on the upper corner are perfectly good spot. Just 2, and maybe you'll get something really, really nice from that.
Oh, we found Aridia. That's with guarded by an Ashura on Mount Hobbs. Eykir says no to that. And to be honest, I don't blame him on that one, because Aridia with Porum is like that's team weak sauce to start out with HP-wise, and Aridia takes a while to get online.
Well, unless there's some balls to come appear, maybe that would definitely change the math. Like the Azure summon would be helpful, though. Don't quite need a second healer, but you never know. But this would definitely be team very squishy. Maybe ideally, one of these situations, you probably want to have like a Zerker to tank some damage and do some when your mages aren't quite up to snuff at the moment, especially if a Val shows up. So you probably aiming for a Zerker when you have essentially two fragile characters. I mean, yes. Edward's a Zerker, but you need a little bit of beef.
Indeed. While our runners are in the middle of going to the darkness cutscenes and going to visit Mount Hobbs, let's know about our objectives here. We do have objectives in groups, so runners have to do everything in Group B, which is Cave Bahamut, Ribbon Room, Massa Altar. They have to do 4 out of 6 of Group A, which is the Rat Tail, returning the Pandiano's wife tonight, defeating the Queen at the Town of Monsters, trading away a Pinktail, interfere with the Sand Ruby, and bring them as survivor to Kaipo. Any 4 or 6 of those. And then we have other objectives, which you might see on the screen occasionally. That's Group E for the turn of the gold to Tori to get the special items. There's 8 bosses that will give just a bonus to experience when they're defeated. And then there is the last objective, which is just simply your A and B counts to get your crystal. And we have an edge. That is amazing.
Yeah, that is a definite must. Rydia, sorry, that is not happening. So that probably should be decent roundup of characters. Pretty much guaranteed. Any runner running the seed will be taking the free edge and the white mage immediately. It's just one of those must-haves, and unlikely any real deviation from that. Also, with the bosses, the XP, I've never really this isn't really a boss hunt. It's just nice to have if the bosses are on the way, but probably not worth focus on them. Just know that they get nice.
Yeah, that's why they're not on the screen. But it is, you're not gonna really hunt them, but it's like when you get them, you'll just get a little boost. And then the normal course things take about half the bosses. You should probably get about 3 to 5 of them, depending on where they're exactly positioned. We do have a new flag on called. Wait, no, it's not this one. This was actually. That would be maybe your BK or something. This is just simply a 1-to-1. Every boss should be here once. Okay. So forget that.
I mean, one boss will take a day off, but the boss the boss will not be part of that list of bosses to be fought. So you'll have to. So Yeah, no worries there. He'll guarantee those bosses on the list, some way, shape, or form. He might not necessarily encounter them. Should be pretty free, though with some J items for Keddril. Just probably need a firebomb ideal, or well, not firebomb. I think the other one is
Gaia would have been a better choice because that was not HP restricted based on the team split.
Yeah, you could. I mean, yeah, would definitely be better if Porm used it, but we're past that point.
Yeah, so looks like Eykir so far is getting a lot of things for that Edge can wear, but not necessarily the greatest. Passed on that free chest, because that one is actually safe. Also passing on our Pink Puff chest. And passing on these 3 too. Okay, guess we're just checking out what the bosses are down here, maybe a boss peak. Keddril found the Magma Key. It was in Antlion Cave. That gives access to more things.
It is an interesting decision to just peek the bosses and get some loot before taking advantage of the exit item. Very useful for even if you never end up having a Rosa.
Yeah, there's Dr. Lugay. That's not being taken now. The reason you peek him, I would say, in this case is if you find King Queen Eidolon, I mean, free bosses are on. That is a massive amount of experience for basically just sitting through about a 30 to 60 minute, 30 to 60 second cutscene for them to go through their thing. Kenazo, no, we're not doing that right now.
So probably would have done a little bit more looting, like more aggressive looting, especially just because you want to get the cash for Edward to get online with the spoon. And Cursed Ring, not as important, but definitely nice utility item to fix your anchor problem for at least for certain battles that would desperately need it. But the adamant armor is definitely the crown of the giving away $250,000. I mean, half of $1,000,000. So $1 million gold. So I mean, I think it's worth doing that. Just even if you just go through sections with a shop like say Feymarch, you loot all the chests and vendor all the stuff you don't need. That will get you pretty easily closer to where you need to go on getting the adamant if you were aiming for the adamant.
Now, Eykir did see a Zeus Gauntlet there was going to come back and reloot it. Odin was at this spot on Masa Altar, not now. Fun tip, the entire Zemus zone, all those areas below there, none of those have any monsters in them. They're all free chests. You can go down the first 3 levels, they all have chests on them, and they are just as much goodies as anything else down here on the moon. Let's see. Looks like there's an Assassin Dagger, which comes in their starting kit. There is a Zeus Gauntlet. We've not seen anything else that really can go on Edge over here. I found a lot of claws, which are not really all that helpful to Edge over here. I mean, Cat Claw would be great if you had Yang. We don't have one of those, so... Oopsie.
I think I saw a Blarg in Eykir's looting, which would be great for Iridia, but did not take one, so that's fine. We wanted... Probably should be more comfortable with Edge. Like if Val is the thing that would shut this team down, well, it would. Val would definitely ruin it. Yeah.
Another Cat Claw. We found our Artie Bow for the Forum there. He's not going to check the Crystal Altar, which is probably means that's where King and Queen Eidolon is, because that's just the way the luck always seems to run with these things. Looks like we're going to get a check of either Cave Value or the Lunar Path. It's the Lunar Path. The hair dryers are in the lower entrance if you want to get it first, which is where we're parking.
Well, we could try to gamble, maybe use an hourglass. That's the only thing. At least attempt it once if we're gonna be brave and try to take on the hairdryer's chest. Because
with the Zeus Gauntlet, I think Edge is gonna survive. It's just that Edge just only has to throw the hourglass. We're using hourglass 1, which is a little bit less duration than the other one.
I tend to believe that those hourglass, even the first one, is usually more than enough. It's just a matter of making sure Edge survives it, which clearly it was. You gotta back row. You gotta do everything. That damage is gonna be slow for a little bit. So and
Yep.
not having glitch. So that's to fix some of that. But not gonna that much faster. I'm not sure if there's anything to yeet to make this go faster. But I don't think that flame is
not
gonna help
really.
though. That flame is gonna be worse off too because the assassin's dagger.
Yeah, this is probably 100 damage or so, or even less. Okay. That ain't gonna work. Forum needs an arty bow rather, to get anywhere out of here. Well, the first one's down.
Edward will trying to participate, but it's probably not going to happen. We'll go try back hiding because this is a, even though it is a monster in a box, but usually it still triggers the auto hide. I think typically.
And it already did, but now that he's been shown back, he won't go but do that again. Meanwhile, Keddril has enough money in his trade for the spoon, so we have Spoonword available. Just no real gear to help boost that strength up to get more damage. Alright, Gaia Drum burned over here by Eykir to get those down a little bit faster.
It's all of the experience is coming from, so this is definitely going to be worth more than, say, an Eblin, Castle Eblin run.
Yes, although, Castle Eblin can have some nice things to sell too if you end up with some nice heavy armors there or something. One more to go for the hair dryers. Form's helping, sort of. Hey, there it goes. Alright, excellent. Now, this can have a key item as well, so we'll see if there's any luck here for Eykir.
Yeah,
We're going to take on Kabul defense.
We'll probably definitely be seeing some all the Castle Eblin chests be looted later. So, but we have a nice stat stick for Porum though. I guess when we need to ditch the bow, I think we'll definitely have the bow for just to to speed up over Eddie, because Eddie gains quite a bit of speed. So probably want to try to get Porum closer to ahead of Eddie a little bit. Whenever possible.
Keddril has found the guards here at Bool. Unfortunately, they tend to size people if you physically attack them. And now they're going to piggy, or try to. And there goes Eddie. But these two Gaia drums should get the work done. There they go.
It's fun. Eddie's the hero, so he's still gaining XP while falling flat. That's fine. Eddie being the hero is probably a lot better than Eddie being the second character. There are some benefits of having your weakest character being the hero. There are quite a lot of benefits to doing that for being a hero. When you're not the hero, that experience is disappearing into the ether.
It looks like Keddril has found a power shirt from the Kabul defense. That's very nice for Eddie, or our Edge, depending on which one we want to put on. We're going to put on Ed for now. Sounds good. Eykir has traded for the spoon.
Always definitely worth it. Even if the Eddie wasn't there, you have the Edge to toss it. But not definitely. You'll get more work out of a spoon putting in Eddie's hands. It's not going to disappear unless you have nothing better to do and maybe toss it for the Z kill.
Yes, and depending, because this flag set, when you complete either the 3 of Group B or the 4 of the ones in Group A, Eddie will get a weapon, I believe, one of his Final Fantasy IV advanced weapons that are specific to him, and one of those could be the Loki Harp. There's a Loki Harp, that spoon is coming right off, and that is going to get darted somewhere.
I don't know. I prefer to stick with the spoon. I can't. It's like you give the bard the spoon, you just forget about it. Just like harps? No, I don't. No, it's sharp objects. Sharp objects wanted here. At least for me.
You put the Loki Harp on, you put the Adamant armor on, you put a crystal ring on, ninja hat, you just push 90 on ability, let's go. Hey, speaking of Yang, here he is.
It is sort of worth doing. I mean, you have a sort of a boss list. that you can optionally do. Going up the mountain, probably not. It's not entirely a bad idea. Though with the magma key available somewhere else, you probably don't really have to do it unless you really don't really want to get the item up Mount Ordeal. I feel like I find myself skipping this because I don't. Why do the climb? Really?
Well, there is still a demist hunt, so I mean, this is about a 1 in 10 chance that your demist is here. And I mean, it can have a key item. It's not likely to necessarily, but if it is the answer, you don't take this. If your opponent does, you're going to have a very bad time, unfortunately. So it's a question of, this is an early check, it's not a difficult check. You leave it and fade it and hope it has nothing, or do you take it, just make sure you don't actually get stuck then by missing something that is really early and is really key. Because the way these objectives go, it's if you don't have the hook, this is where the hook is. You gotta figure out where the other 4 objectives are, because we have both tails on the objective list today.
Yeah, it's interesting, the flag set when it comes to the key item distribution. I mean, we just have it on. We can find it on the moon, and there's a possibility that moon will gate something significant, depending on like what your objectives are. Though, might not be as important. But again, depends on each seed. If you have. I'm more incentivized to do Mountain Ordeals, like any runner, if Cecil was like the starting character, or I'm not so sure if a tele partner showing up would be an ideal cause, though. But definitely, at least a Cecil.
Well, this is bad news.
I would probably do it.
We have an Apple, we have a Golbez. This would be a reset, I think, under normal circumstances.
We could probably gamble with the Star Veil and hope that lasts long enough through the sequence. You won't die. It just won't. It will eat some time off the clock, but it would probably be better. But because you might not get enough speed to overtake the first spell that Golbez casts.
Eddie is fast enough, that shouldn't be a problem here, but the Startle did not get off in time, so that's going to have to wait until after this comes off.
It is kind of unfortunate, though, so Golbez showing up there.
Yeah, Eykir's going to take the Baron in, see if there's anything behind these things. Okay, we're just going right for the kill, and that worked. 17.
I mean, sharp objects all the time. Sometimes you get lucky with that way. Edward is, I mean, pretty fast relative to everyone else. Oh,
speaking of demist, here it is, right in the Baron Inn.
Yeah, even with the dupe form over there, I still definitely do the Baron Inn dub two boss fights back to back. Not ideal, but certainly very doable with the characters here. So this shouldn't be too long where demist will go away, and then we can now go visit Mist for the free key item.
Well, potential free key item. It might be as off.
Sure. We're somewhere to go at least.
And we have more apples. You know, Eddie needs apples because the way his HP goes, I mean, at this point, gold apples like almost, 4 or 5 levels?
Yeah, the HP scaling on Eddie it looks more like a mage, but mage actually has MP to get. Eddie has no MP to speak of. So yeah, you probably want, given the the current composition, you probably want Eddie to get all the apples. And hope he's so that when you get to the point where levels and HP sort of matter less, the Eddie will just be keep doing his thing and not having to worry about anything else. Porm can take a nap for the Z fight.
Got a drain spur in the bushes. That's helpful. He must have ditched it there. Oh, here's a pass. That's helpful depending on where you finish your objectives. If you decide to take the moon first, come back to the blue planet to finish up other stuff, that is now a viable play.
I guess it's a good question to be asked here, though. Is having done this flag set, at least I love this flag set a lot. When do you think the best time is to when you start clearing out the whole lunar subterranean. Just basically do all the moon objectives, as it were.
But I mean, my personal preference is I like to at least peek the altars to see what I'm dealing with. Do I have any freebies? Am I getting done on a first pass up there? Can I take the either of the mage and carry, or sorry, warlock and carry chests? You know, and depending on what you start with, I mean, it's like if you have an edge as your partner and you have a curse ring on Eddie, you can take all of those chests. They don't have any key items, so they have something really nice in them, like Hanzo Steel or things for edge to dart, or stuff of that sort. But then, of course, the question is, when do you go back up? And it's like, preference is when I get to the moon as quickly as possible, because a lot of experience up there. This flag can give up to 4 times experience, depending on how many objectives and key items you have. So, I'd rather get it done early and just kick butt on the blue planet, but not every seed works that way. Eykir has taken our Staleman chest.
Just have to remember to take off the assassin dagger.
We are not actually using the flame here. It was thought of, but not actually being done.
Interesting. I'm gonna. I thought there was a try to use Zerk on Edge to just make him just do all the work. That could, but I get that having Porm upright probably is important until.
Unfortunately, it didn't work because Link only uses 2 casts, and we went through them all. And now Edge has been put to sleep. This could end up being bad.
We'll survive, but is a setback in time. It's time eating.
Well,
I'm surprised.
Thing is, though, with Staleman's time, the likelihood is Edge wakes up and gets right back to sleep again because he'll be at RA0. Not RA0. What am I trying to say there? 0 on the ATB timer is what I'm trying to think of there.
Oh, he'd be when we wakes up, he's empty. His ATB is empty, therefore very super vulnerable to the upcoming hit.
Yes, and the giant is basically going to put him right back to sleep again, so it doesn't work.
I'm surprised it just wasn't trying to flame, so they're removing all of the skulls, because they're actually the problem before initial problem. So at least reducing them, that would. So then Porm wouldn't have gotten a chance to be punched that often. Like the blink would have been removed from all that.
If Porm also had some wizard gear, that would also solve the problem, because that resists the skeletons, but I don't think we've seen any on Eykir's end. But that's okay. We can easily make up the time somewhere.
I think the loot is the monster boxes are T Pro, so that should nerf the usually generous output that you normally get. But it's still not too bad. It's still worth besides the fact that they are they're required so you can check for a key item check, but at least the loot isn't still half bad despite that.
Yeah, I mean, we found a Gaia hat. That's would be useful if we had a black mage in the party. We don't. Hey, there's an hourglass sitting here in the Fey March. Okay, that just adds to our pile.
I mean, the Gaia hat can be used on white wizards, but you probably want a wizard hat because of the additional property and more willpower for the white mage. So it's the Edward hiding though might sort of slow down, but using the life glitch is still definitely increase the amount of XP that Eykir is going to be able to pick up.
Yeah, well, the Mad Ogres are down, so that's good. Getting useful out of this one. Already arrows. That could be useful for Forum down the line. We've got already bow, got already arrows. Just need a heroine robe or an adamant armor. Yay!
Just gotta get the good gear with the good loot. It's all. It's just. Three. You could. If you don't care about what happens, just Zerk the entire party for the Z fight and call it a day.
Well, you could do that.
You could.
That is probably the time when Z is then going to get off some of these massive high numbers for the Big Bang and ruin your day. With Eddie, the odds that Eddie's gonna be able to take a completely unnerfed Big Bang, you're gonna have to have a lot of levels of that.
It requires a little luck. Well, you got enough power to do it.
I think all Gauntlet is off in this flag set, if I recall right. Although you need some HP to actually survive this, so
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, it's like great. Oh wait, it happens to the best of us.
And now a glass helm for that water hag would work out very, very well, but
you still take 1 damage if any hit.
Oh, Gauntlet is on. Okay, I always forget which one it's actually off with. But anyways,
I think it's the one with the Leviathan. Yes, that's.
Well, they all have Leviathan. We were talking about the tsunami.
No, Leviathan, the tsunami set. I look. All I care is which sprite who does the thing. That's it. It's all I know. It's all I can go on. It's easy. It's all easy to remember that way. Except for everything else.
First, we replace all lunar sparkles and confusion for April Fools.
That would be a nasty flag if we could just make everyone unknown, every boss unknown. That would be a fun.
I'm pretty sure we have something like that.
I don't think it was in 4.6. I mean, if it was like more closer to a mystery seed, but mystery seeds still have like shows the bosses and stuff.
Well, there's a wacky that doesn't show you the sprites of any of the bosses.
Oh yeah, wacky. There's just so many of them.
Right. Eykir is going underground as Keddril finishes up the Eidolon castle, and we'll see where the runners go next. It also seems that they're in any hurry to get back to the moon, which we know there's some kind of nasty bosses up there at least.
I think the key items are only on the surface, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it's not so like the tower battle from the underground side won't have anything storing any key items. So that's kind of sort of relief, in, having to go through Sylph Cave, which is part of the Tsunami's flag set. So this should be but probably we'll still have to check out at least the freebie at Fey March.
Yeah, so the freebie in the Fey March, we kind of already found out was backed by Keddril. It's only an hourglass. That's not anything. Now, of course, the trick here is the hook route is not required because Falcon's not an objective. But the 2 chests down there, the Stalemen and the Mad Ogres, would have key items, and they could both be required, possibly. So you kind of have to see it down there.
You would kind of hope that Hook is gated on the moon, so that those chests are less relevant.
Actually, hear me out. You could have the Hook on the moon, but then you could possibly have the Pan going into the Rat Tail, going into the Pink Tail. Then you have to take those chests.
I mean, it's just follow where the key item availability lets you. So we'll probably
Now, as it turns out, it looks like the Hook was already found by Eykir, so this is actually a very nice thing to check early. The Lamia chest. Okay. I didn't see any yellow, that's why I didn't really pick up on it. Okay.
Yeah, that was a blur. That was a blur on my screen. So Keddril will pick that up.
Yeah, that's the context. I didn't see the yellow, so I didn't realize it was a Hook. Okay. So, we're going to see if the Stalemen are hiding anything important here.
Probably we'll also get in the 4 Mad Ogre chests later up in the path. So then once done, we'll probably scoot on out. At least get and use another exit. Or by now, I think Torm should have exit.
We do have to at least backtrack to the Eidolon Cave because exit does not work in the tower for plot reasons. That's always fun. But there's no reason to complete the Hook route. We've already seen the D-Mist. There's no objective there that would really require us to do it. We're already underground, so there is, I think, zero chance we see the hook route taken. It will be interesting to see what character was here, because this is also fairly early. Not that we need any characters anymore, we've filled out the parties.
I think this flag said, I know permajoin is on, but I think it's also C buy. So basically, if you didn't like your option, well, they go away and they also go away. So you can't pick them up in the Tower of Wishes. So it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those. You really have to be very decisive. Like, are they coming or are they not? And just and don't. It's the all important. Build your party. Don't think too hard.
At the same time, you just want to necessarily take the first 3 on the table, because that could also be bad too, depending on which ones those are. Earth Crystal. Let's see, that's not an objective. So the question is, it is a key item, but the question is, do you want to take 2 bosses and go through that whole thing for 1 key item check? Actually, well, 2 possibly, because there's Doggo, if the runners haven't already checked it. I don't think either of them has.
I think, you'd probably want to do you're gonna do dog, the flame dog, yeah. Might as well. Like, you could like defer, like wait for Twin Harp show so you can do all that stuff at the same time. But given that flame dog is a key item check on the table, probably be worth doing it anyways. Well, you just like or just scoot on out. I feel like it's probably worth doing. Just you're already there. I think just kind of you're already there. You might as well do it.
Yeah, if Doggo has something important, like a hook or a magma key or something like that, checking it late can be kind of annoying, and it's not a very long check to do. And especially you know which chest it is. It's always going to be the second one. So, speaking of second chests, here's the chest on the 2nd floor of Upper Babel, which will be the 4 Mad Ogres. I don't recommend petting them. Doesn't work out too well.
Yeah, the Mad you get doing a lot of the Monster Hunter boxes. You get used to having kind of training yourself. Well, what tools do I have to take them on? And Mad Ogres are pretty usually the easiest in a sense, the most generous. You can't really use damaging magic on them to any unless you're going full Blarg or even Leviathan. But yeah, you get used to like trying to get all the stuff. Maybe hold on to a Charm Claw for Edge to make his life easier. So but Mad Ogres are like in part of the sets of Monster Hunter boxes on the overworld. Having like an Ogre Axe makes life easy once you've done it enough.
Well, there's a pink tail. That's kind of important. That's an objective. So it was worth it to come down here. We got an Earth Crystal, and we got an objective. So, let's see. It's a funny thing, even though these chests are part of the overworld monster boxes, when you're looking for the pass in the Tsunami Seed, that area is considered part of the underground for pass looting purposes.
Yeah, it's from the castle, the cave Eblin to the Tower of Babel lower. I mean the upper section rather, from the overworld side.
Both of the upper sections, because technically speaking,
it's gated.
Pitfall and after the Pitfall are both different areas.
Yeah, it is gated, so that's a nice shirt to have. While Heroine Rope isn't quite available, but still good. It's good enough to. Doesn't have the Artemis bow. Well, whatever. Probably looted from Keddril, I guess. So that should be good enough.
Yeah, and Keddril has gotten the Adamant and the Cursed Ring, so now that Adamant is on Edge, our shirt's on Eddie, and I think we're ready to do some butt kicking over here. Not necessarily the butt, but other butts, lesser butts. Eykir's
So
going to check out this treasury, it looks like, right? Yes, we're going to rate the treasury.
that might be disappointing because all the overworld treasuries, or at least on the Earth, is capped at T5, which means we're gonna be very disappointed for some
We are
of
looking
that.
for a rang and some cash. Lumber sword can be darted at least. Rain spear, more darts. Bows. Hey, there's a full moon. That'll work out just well to back row the edge. And the inventory boss has shown up.
Well, you were expecting that to happen. That's the point. I mean, it is a treasure room, so you're going to have a lot of trash in your inventory at this point. Not stopping to sell off, although it could have been done prior to that.
No, Keddril, we don't do sirens on this particular flag set. We can't do that. I just steal from the alert, and there's only have cure 1s on this particular flag set.
Haven't really had to steal too much on the flag sets. I mean, certainly you can. It's just like, is it? I mean, there might be a few times where you really, when you know what you're getting, like you want to steal silk webs from the Arachne, or other monsters that drop a silk web. But when you
focus if you need that, but I mean, since we have a Porum, there's not really a whole lot if you need to do that.
Yeah. The different, certainly different value if depending on what you have. So not as useful when you have the tool's right there.
No value on Doggo. It's just a Leviathan orb. That's cash, and not much else. Keddril is getting to the top of Lower Babel, and what is here? It is some flavor of guard.
It should be the other guards. It's not. It's the officer, because we've always seen the Baron. I think we've seen the Baron guards earlier, so this should be the officer, the Kaipo guards.
Well, hear me out, Beauty. Doggo is trying to keep the water from getting out. That's why it's being hidden there. Yep, there are the Kaipo guards, so this is completely free.
Val trading spots should be an easier time. No, actually, I think there's a lot more HP to get through compared to the other spot, but her spells are not as devastating. Although weak is a very accurate spell to begin with, so that shouldn't be too long though.
Yeah, we do have Eddie in the center slot. That'll help the accuracy a little bit. Unfortunately, not that great.
That might be the issue.
That could be the problem, but the defense is also pretty high here. I mean, even the edge isn't doing a whole lot of damage here. Well, 1,500. Okay, maybe not. First hit wasn't looking too good. Eddie is now weak. Well, that's a truism.
But at least Eddie won't hide because he's on the Zerk, so that is a nice thing. Although in different versions of the game, a Zerk Eddie would be a boon, with a particular glitch that comes with it.
The Kaipo guards are just hiding a ribbon for Keddril, so that's a zonk. Unfortunate.
So I guess we'll get a peek at who's in the castle. Dwarf castle boss. Well, at least the second boss. So it's Dark Elf is pretty free.
Yep, that's not anything challenging there. We also find that Sid apparently is the one who is doing all the kidnapping in this particular seed.
It's a paladin. Please be a
and
paladin.
Who did Sid kidnap? It's an Iridia. We aren't going to go down that line any further, but those characters are just going to basically run off and not join the party. Oh well.
They showed up. That's it. They disappear. I mean, that's the life that you lead with limited party size plus permajoin. They just disappear into the sunset.
The Keddril is going to use a siren here. Makes sense. We do give you, I think, one in the starting kit. got a Mom Bomb here. Is Zot 2. A little annoying because the sweep options aren't necessarily great here. Double experience, so that gives us about 4 levels on the party here. We got Cure 3.
Did I here get to do the back row glitch in between now? I think Edward is definitely being a lot more responsible now. Shouldn't be too long. Yep, there Mom goes.
It could also depend on the multipliers that Eddie had for Val, because that does also affect things too.
Yeah.
All right. So now the big question: was this Zod worth it, or was it a big waste of time?
I'm thinking big waste of time, but because I'm not saying the flame dog is the reason. Just luck of the randomizer.
Not a waste of time. That's a Sandry as an objective. So that is now 2 for Eykir on the Group A list. Unfortunately, there won't be anything that comes out of the Sandru, because there's just going to be another character that is going to just run off into the blue yonder.
Nope, we still got to do it. Get a free heal while you're there. But we just got a free heal. We got a free heal.
Hey, it's a Vanilla Rosa. That's hilarious. Right after we learn exit on her. Oh well.
Yep, just learned exit, but we already have a Porum, so yeah, no.
And now in the case of Eykir here, this is now 3 of 4 for the Group A list, because Queen, as soon as he gets down there, can realize that's a free water hag if he bothers to peek it then. So only needs to find either a pan, rat, or a package, one of the 3. And that will be Omo. It's time to go to the moon at that point.
I'm trying to think if we have any other spots on the overworld to have access to. I feel like we don't. I think it's kind of this time.
Neither runner has checked Dwarf yet. That's the only other place they could realistically go.
That's the last place. Well, that would be the last place. It's probably worth last place check before going to the moon. I think you gotta.
Well, I mean, if you
try to exhaust it to some
stay on the blue planet this long, I would say yes, stay on the blue planet and finish it up. But then again, I don't win all of my races, so don't necessarily take my advice on that. So Keddril got the water hag down, got an ice Excale to eat into
to eat all
into something.
Yes.
Yes, there is the last storm, but that's not technically on the blue planet overworld. That's you going to the giant and hoping for some luck there. Eykir has gotten a cursed ring now.
And we'll probably also pick up the adamant on top of it. Oh no, nope, not enough money.
Not enough cash yet for that.
Probably would look to the vendor to sell a few things. This is gonna be the play.
Okay, so Keddril is taking the Baigan. I'm not quite sure why. We don't have summon bosses on here, so unless this is a boss objective, no real point to doing this one.
Well, even if it was a boss objective, you're not getting any actual outside of experience. You're not getting a reward. So probably just remember. No. Besides,
okay.
That spot is bad.
We've decided no. This might be just seed confusion with the flag sets, because some bosses do give key items in other flag sets, just not this one.
Yeah.
Now we are going to be going down to. I guess this is a Sheila 1 check.
On the way out.
Into Fabul if Keddril did not do that yet. I don't think Keddril actually did take Fabul's defense, did he?
No, one of them I think it was Keddril that did the Fabul defense.
He did take Fabul. Okay, so this is just a Sheila 1 check then.
Yeah.
Which is a play that it pays off more often than it should, but if this is something, it's definitely going to help out.
But just not on the pan side of things on hitting Yang on the head. Only the Sheila side will because of K-Main, both Sheila 1 and 2 can have a key item, so we're just going for the 1.
And we still have the possibility of something silly like Sheila 1 leads to Pan, leads to Rat, leads to Package. One of those nasty chains that just is there occasionally.
I mean, I think oftentimes, unless the objectives call for it, the doing kind of being thorough on the overworld checks, or including underground, being thorough, more or less, is pretty. It's at least a pretty deep. It's pretty a good path for the most part. At least, unless there's some chain of events or certain key items not appearing where they need to be, then that's where when the moon becomes more appealing to do. So right now, I think exhausting it when most of the objectives have been on, at least a reasonable portion of the key items have been on the Earth. Definitely worth continue doing until you have exhausted most of it.
Hey, we've got some Maga Sisters in the first slot here. Meanwhile, there's some regret over Warp Glitch not being on in this flag set. True story, it was actually on in the first versions of this flag set testing, but then the lovers of white mages and physical characters have a little bit upset about all of the love being given to Alum and Rydia and decided no.
That was just left to the Tsunami flag set, so just that, not this one. So,
well, that's because in that case you're not locked into only 3 characters.
Right.
It's like, you really want to lock you into a black mage for one check when it's like you don't have a black mage hero. So it's like now you got to take one for the warp glitch. It kind of limits your options. We didn't really feel it was called for. So, but yeah, Tsunami, it's like you can just simply hit up the characters again once you dismiss them, but it's like the odds are you're going to find a warpcaster somewhere.
Probably. And I mean, those some seems to be better than others when it comes to getting a black mage roll, especially with the limited characters. I can see that.
The Warpstone's another Final Fantasy Rexel. All right, Queen's down on Eykir's side. In Waterhag, that is. Excal is in hand.
Should be quick, though Porum has a chance to die, but is evading all the multipliers, which is...
The magic is pretty weak here anyways, even if it had hit. This is nothing to worry about. Now, if the Cold Mist, or sorry, the D-Breath comes out, then different story, but I don't think it's going to get there either.
No, it's pretty safe. Yeah, it's pretty safe. It's comical.
Now we're just faced with the question again: is this actually worth it?
Well, we'll find out. I mean, it's 2 bosses and then the key item, no warp glitch. So yeah, if the warp glitch was on, it'd be 2 bosses plus 2 key items, which key item checks, which is usually at least more palatable when you have the warp glitch on.
Wouldn't know, Rexel. I think there was an X zone or something like that sort of got in the way there. Back-rowing the edge, that's always useful. Now, that's one of the nice benefits of this particular flag set. All the characters can lift in the back row.
Yes, that is the probably my favorite aspect of it. On top, now mind you, I'm not a big adamant armor in a seed flag, but you have so few characters that adamant armor is like incredible when you have when you have an Eddie or a Porum around, just that needs all the protection they can get versus boss hits on the moon.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we're gonna see if this Sheila 1 play turns out to be anything. And Sheila has Hurt Toast and a Mazza all sword.
That's still pretty good.
That is pretty good. That gives Edge some nice weaponry there. Unfortunately, that does kind of mean
yeah, this could be skipped.
At this point, we have to go to the moon because I don't think there's anything else left.
Yeah, might as well. I mean, you got like it is worth exhausting. I would like if you're gonna save a few, you'd hope that there, you have key items either.
Oh, he got the tower key. Okay, I didn't see that lit up. All right.
Looks like no. That looks like it's just deciding to go. Not thinking. Whatever, whatever's top. I'm not sure if Kendall's done the top. I think at least one of our runners have done top of tower. So that might be Kendall. So that might be the reason not to like. I'll come back later maybe. It's not objective, so like may not be a direct objective.
It isn't an objective. It is
super boss. The super cannon. That would be that's not a like if a super cannon was a direct objective, that would be just done immediately. No. But but that not being on the table is probably why it's like maybe later.
Well, the fades always have to be made, usually, in seeds, and the question is it a good fade, is it a bad fade? We'll find out a little bit later on. We're going to check this cave value, though. First, see what our required boss is over here. EKC would be kind of annoying just because of the HP reasons on this one.
Well, I think you might be able to get by with the edge, but we probably need some levels. Oh, that's free. That's super free. Let's just do it.
Yeah, this is one of those things. If you had bothered to peek this when they were first up here 50 minutes ago, they could have taken this immediately and gotten a nice little boost of experience and objective right away.
I think that like the peeking depends on how when you peek when you peeking you get information, but if you don't have to peek, like you just bulldoze anything that comes in your way, that can be a time saver when you don't peek. So I guess it just depends on how things line up. Is it gonna work out or is it going to be a mess? Like is this like a buy-in at the spot, which is of course not, but like we know, and because we know it's in the king spot, but yeah, that you would always just like avoid it. You'd avoid it. Wait till the end where you can just tank all that damage from Baigen.
Yeah, but I mean the thought here is like there are several free bosses in the flag. So I mean it's like you've got the King and Queen of Eidolon, you've got the officers, you've got the Baron guards. You're given an assassin dagger in the starting kit. It's like that's at least 3 free bosses. There are 6 checks on the moon. What are the odds you're going to actually get one of those 3 bosses in those 6 checks? Fairly good, I would say. Someone who can actually math the combinations can probably tell us in the chat what the exact odds are. But,
I prefer to look at it as worst possible bosses until they're not. That's all. That's at least my mode of thinking, because I don't want to have to think too much about it. Like
the Royal Moonveil. There we go. Never tell me the odds.
No, that would be cheating. Not really.
We're not doing the math on the stream. We're basically telling chat to do the math and then tell us. That's not doing math on stream.
So time to do a deep dive. Although probably no. I think it was.
And we're getting the same thing from Eykir. This is going to be a check for Sirens that is going to help with a bit of a womp womp.
I mean, you gotta have to do all the monster boxes until you get to go mode. So this is it's bound to happen.
Oh, trust me, beauty. Loopholes are not just for tax season.
No, they're just for glitches, bugs, and anything you can take advantage of. Anything you can take advantage of.
They're also for other things like, legal and accounting and things of that sort.
Looks like Eykir will find out what's in the tower key, but will unfortunately find out on the way out of the tower as the consequence. Fighting what's there with less than 600 HP. Oh, this is super free. The spot's already super free.
Almost anything is super free here, other than a gauntlet or a Golbuz. We already saw the Golbuz. We have no idea what the gauntlet is yet, if it's even in the seed at all.
Yep, didn't see that boss. Don't care, because it's dead. So Keddril is a oh no about to I was like going to the LC. No, check the shop. Might as well check the shop while you're there, or at least sell a few things because don't want to be seeing the inventory boss anytime soon. Oh, some star veils. Might as well pick up a few or not.
You get a moon veil in the value, so not quite as necessary. Maybe this is buying up lots of ethers, which is interesting because we really aren't relying on a whole lot of magic for this. But
Yeah.
Pinktail, where was Pinktail? I think that was Upper Babel, and I think Eykir's already done.
Yeah, Eykir's done the Babel checks, so that will not even though Keddril had the hook, I don't
Upper
think
Babel.
it's done.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, the Mad
Hasn't
Ogre
done-
chest.
Yeah, it hasn't done the hook route, so yeah, that would be the difference right now.
Yeah, so that means it's 3 goals to 1, which means Keddril, if not going back down to that hook route or things like that, needs to find a rat and a package, and pretty quick.
There's a chance that Keddril's forgotten. That is my. I think that's my.
Eykir has a very controversial key item, the Twin Harp.
It is a nice harp, but I don't think it's worth checking out at this point. It's like, when you see the key items that are lit up, it's like, at this point, this is like a one-off check. It might not necessarily lead into anything outside of if it was the pan or the Baron key. And the Baron key only gets you to 1 key item too, so it's not.
It is still possible that Twin Harp blocks our other 3 Group A objectives. It's not likely, but it is still possible.
I mean, there is a chance. I don't like those odds though.
Well, it is definitely there for sure. Yeah, this particular flag set does favor K main checks, so it's slightly more likely to have things than other locations. But at the same time, it's a randomizer, and occasionally playing the odds does not work in your favor.
I mean, right now Moon is most likely going to get one of the things anyways at this point, like just knowing what we know up to this point. So it's kind of one of those...
It's likely, but it isn't guaranteed. And it could be something stupid like Crystal Altar. With a gauntlet there.
So we're doing... Now, I think that the check is just for loot, not like... The key items will not be in the monster in the boxes. But I find that the if anything has a warlock in the chest is worth doing. I think the Mac Giant chest is the Red Giant chest is also worth doing. But the easiest ones are any of the warlock ones. I mean, not the easiest because the carries punch quite a bit, but those are usually like one of the easy. They're the ones that you can pretty much set up an assassin dagger or whatever insta kill option, and they die pretty quickly to all that.
Meanwhile, we're finding something that's very free down here. It's a Bahamut. With Star Veils, that's no problem at all.
I mean, Bahamut's going fast enough so that Blarg will allow him to murder himself, so this is fine. This is, although, I'm not sure which spot this was, because you want Eddie to be there, so to add all the damage, or whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be quads, so I mean, it's like, that's not really all that bad. Edge will add some little help here. I think we'll be through this in one more Blarg.
I think you want...
Or just now.
You don't want to get to a second Blarg more often than not. This is the Murr's.
That is the Legend Store. That is unfortunately a blank at this point on this seed. This was Murrah Altar, so kind of out of the way a little bit.
But at least it's a one direction. Like you walk a bit out. I like just don't exit because it's just walk all the way back in. Even go through the animations. It's about more or less the same. Walking out might be a little bit faster, but I don't think you're getting that much.
It's pretty close. Oh, we're going to take the Mac Giant
Yep.
chest, a Red Giant chest. Sorry. Okay, this is just more experience along the way. Can't really have anything too useful for us.
Probably, definitely want to get Porum to white, which is the probably more important. I think, at least maybe for Keddril. That'd be the only real reason at this point.
This is true, but at the same time, you have the ribbon and the Mazza altars you have to do anyways. So, my personal thought here is like, yeah, you grind out this a little bit if you do it, but try to keep the grinding to the minimum that you need in order to get through the seed. Just because these all take at least a minute or two to get through, and that's time that you're not really making any progress.
Oh yeah, these are like, this is like kind of out of the Red Giant chest is completely out of the way. The Warlock stuff aren't too far away. I think Red Giant is it really is the most out of the way of all the monster boxes outside of the one. I think the path towards the. Oh no, actually, well, if you go out of your way to go to the Crystal Sword altar, then there's the Behemoth just out of the technically on the way, but it's out of the way if you have to do the Crystal Sword altar. So
yeah. Just more Hanzo Steel for Keddril out of that one. And meanwhile, Eykir has sort of egged up and passed on the way down, heading to the ribbon and the Mazza altars, probably.
Yeah, you want to do your objectives, and then if you're not getting the key items, you need to that is like the key items blocking. You will have to go out of your way to all the other. So it could be worth like cleaning it up in full, but Eykir is just like I think I'm kind of making a gamble to see that, hoping that whatever is in his way, the ribbon room and the Masa altar is where all the key items are at.
Yeah, and the difference here is also, I mean, Eykir's up here with 10 key items and is 1 away. Keddril has only got 7 and needs at least 3, so the difference is I think Keddril really has to take more of the moon than Eykir does, just based on what they're coming up here with.
Yeah, you want at least the minimum of double XP for having 10 key items,
and meanwhile, since Eykir does have 10, all the experience is now pretty much at 4x, which is why these gold dragons are being taken. This is going to be some stupid amount of experience, probably like, 360 if it's properly life glitched?
I just want the XP. I just see levels on screen. Don't think too much. But definitely want to get the life glitch when possible. Just waiting for it. There it is.
Yep, then just hoping Eddie isn't rude and happens to swing again before you get the glitch off, and then it doesn't happen. So, as we saw about an hour ago, this is Dr. Luge. If Edge had a Thunderclaw, that would make the fight go a little bit faster. I don't think Keddril has.
There might have been one. There might have been one in the scene, but right now, yeah, but it's fine.
There's probably one in a shop somewhere, but again, are you really checking for it? Probably not.
I mean, it is nice when you have it. It's it's not like the fight isn't that difficult, so it's mostly harmless. Even with the second phase, this boss is started with multi phases. It's like technically like a hidden second phase. If you just blow up Blob. That's about it. But that's if yeah. And
well,
now
we're getting it here. So you spoke that into existence. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and there goes the Thunderclaw on Edge, which means 8,200 HP. That's a little bit heavier. And Belly Up is already down.
Yeah, Eykir is definitely catching up as it is already and more or less ahead, I think, at this point. So yeah,
well, especially on the objectives. I mean, the fact that Edward did not do Hook Route and did not do Tower of Zot are the two things that he's behind. And at this point, I don't think he's gonna go back and do those anytime soon. If you fade the blue planet at this point, those are gonna be your last checks.
And we'll probably realize it at that. But by the time clearing up all of the moon, all the moon required objectives. So it's a bit basic.
Most likely, unless for some reason all 3 of them are in the 2 checks we have to do up here, which is again unlikely. But Random is going to random on you. If Eykir finds either of those 3 items that he needs in these 2 checks, let's go and puts him in the driver's seat.
Spot having quite a bit of HP. Eykir having the Thunderclaw making the good doctor take a night nap. So Keddril just finishes.
Oh, that's go mode. That's package. That is go mode for Eykir. Just has to take the Maza altar out, do a cutscene at the package spot, and can go right into the transporter for the pass room.
So, just a reminder: if we did normal forge, though, we weren't getting random like tiers 7 or 8 items. It's not going to be Super Smith. It will be coming through the completion of the B objectives. If I recall correctly.
Well, either A or B. In this case, Eykir's gonna get the B done first, so we'll see the Super Smith weapon as soon as this Odin is dead. Which with the Thunderclaw, again, advantage Eykir here because literally the 2 bosses where Thunderclaw is ideal. It's not gonna take very long. We should be quadding here with with Edge. Yeah.
It's nice and
it's gonna last long.
Yeah. It's okay, Eddie. You'll still kick the XP. Edge just still needs to be up, right?
You know, to be quite honest, sometimes in Eddie heroes you don't want him getting the experience. So you talk about this like it's a good thing, but it's like
he's the hero. He's the hero, so he's collecting it regardless.
Heroes can be zeros, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
No key item here, just a coffin. And it's a Requiem heart. Womp womp. Although it can lower Eddie's agility slightly if you want to go that route.
Well, you can think Drain Venger, just give him the Requiem Harp, nerf him, but then he heals himself on every hit. That would be a nice thing to do, actually. That is the only option. That is the only weapon that would reduce his agility anyways. So might be technically a bigger boon than all the other harps, if you think about it.
It depends if you're going for a fast Eddie or slow Eddie.
You're gonna get your sliced Z with Edge, and so with a spoon it just makes it even faster. But if you want a more durable Eddie, you might be able to survive with. I'm not sure the HP level Eykir has with Eddie, but probably be good enough to survive a big bang. Maybe might need an adamant armor to reduce the spell multipliers that he gets hit with.
It's about 1600. It'll survive a nerfed one, but not an unnerfed one.
Hey, you just gotta gamble. You gotta gamble on that.
Well, you can gamble if you want, or you can choose not to gamble. There are safe ways to take this. Worked on the wrong side of Mist for this. The package is still open. You find that Rosa was here all along. And a bunch of Dark Imps are replacing the bombs because apparently we don't have the budget for bombs today in the seed.
No, they're riding the fire wave. That's what they're doing. You can
Surfing Dark Imps on fire.
It's a visual. It's the visual that counts. Would never get that anywhere else.
I'm pretty sure you could probably get an artist to go crazy like that.
I tried.
Alright, so we just have to wait for Rosa to decide to destroy the mountain. Come on. There we go.
Keddril might have a problem if that Odin goes off. I think it might be close. Oh, there it is.
Just made it. I think Edge would have survived possibly, but that's about it.
Well, this spot is pretty devastating. Can be pretty devastating. It is one of the really strong spots.
Okay, Keddril has the Requiem Harp. All of the B objectives are done. Problem is, still needs to get 3 of the A ones done and only has the key item to do 1 of them.
I think checking on something. This going down doesn't not the answer.
Going down would just be to get the, I think, 3 treasure chests that are down there. There's nothing else that can really pop out here. Ice Brand, no use. Siren, that would have been helpful a little bit earlier.
It's 2 more.
There's 2 more because there's 4 chests down here. Comet Orb, again, would have been useful to take Rydia, and there's another Artie Bow.
Well, look, probably didn't, but we'll probably picked it up because probably didn't have one in the first place. And
well, had one but sold it. So this gets that back into play. And we just have dolls as the Alkoff Baron guards today, or Kaipo guards. Yeah, this is one of those things. The Zima Zone does have 5 chests if you want to take them, and they're all free.
Sort of not valuable as it's on the way from the save point. But mostly, though, Keddril is definitely heading to the Earth for sure. Well, yeah, heading to the Earth, having also done cave value, so needs to hurry up. Oh no! Oh, now doing the crystal altar. Unfortunately, I see.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Eykir has the crystal, so this is going to be going right over now to Z. Keddril has taken the other Warlock chest.
Probably trying to get edge over.
We're seeing some Z's in chat there. I mean, a little bit early. We're not actually in the area yet.
Well, you know, it is pretty late. I mean, it is.
Well, yes, we've been here for an hour and 15 minutes, roughly. So, there's no time for the spiel on the passer. Oh, come on. Speak faster, Rexel. Why don't we go through this one, Deathlike? Since there's always things we say when the big Z is on the table.
I mean, this is a randomizer. You know it's time, but because we are a randomizer, we can make Z appear as anything our heart's desire, at least if created. And we have to ask that question. So, Garen, why don't you ask the question?
Whose butt are we gonna kick tonight? And can I do taxes? And is it an April Fool?
I'm hoping the latter. I don't. Taxes can disappear. I'd like to think. We are giving a lot of money for the adamant armor after all.
Which is worse, the adamant armor with Tori or the taxman? Well, I'll leave that up to you.
We're gonna throw money at the taxman.
Oh no!
Oh, this is
this was called earlier the Gauntlet of Crystal.
Wow, it happened. At least it's not at the Massa altar, because there'd be more fun to be had there.
Oh, I would have loved that to be here, especially with this party. The bronze altar of stinkiness. Okay. Meanwhile, drumroll please. Our Zromus today is... Oh, this is kind of a knockoff April Fool. Oogimus.
Don't quite know where that's from, but I'm sure someone will share
I'm sure chat will tell us where it's from. Can't tell if it's cute or not.
Keddril's having a really bad time with the gauntlet, and probably at this point, well, I'd be annoyed too.
Yeah, I mean, you have hourglasses. They're not immune to it. Use them. Get some recovery. Or use your mute bells. I mean, either which way.
I would prefer mute bells because they're virtually harmless at that point. But the hourglass is like, I like to save them for really dangerous things, like the carries are typically the problematic monsters to be wary of.
Yeah, meanwhile, Oogie Moose is going fairly well for Eykir over here. We're guarding the kitchen sink over at it. That is apparently getting copyright striked because they keep saying things they're not supposed to be saying.
I'm starting to think it might be better, at least for Eykir, to have to Zerk Edge. Yeah, Storming would be useful, but then you have to worry less about things happening. So, but
well, one of the reasons not to Zerk Edge in this case is if there's a very lucky, strong Big Bang that happens to do something like that.
Yeah, Edward's gonna do anything but be Zerk, so that wouldn't have mattered because then you'd have to Zerk them all again anyways. With the black hole, so black hole removing quite a number of statuses. The most important ones would be Wall and Zerk statuses. So
yeah, the trick there is, Jay Ryan, if you don't show them the movie the first time, they don't know it exists. Sometimes. Oh dear. Use the hourglasses. Keddril, if you have any left.
How many? I'm wondering how many hourglasses were released in the scene. There probably wasn't as many as we think. I mean,
I'm sure there were at least 4. I know that he found a 5th along the way. I don't know if they're still in the inventory. Maybe they were sold to get the
items. Yeah,
the items at some point. But if they're still there, it's like you would really, really want them for this gauntlet. And unfortunately, the other bit of bad news there is since we don't have any black mages, we can't really stop these things or weak them or anything else like that.
Yeah, because most likely, if you've done enough grinding with the black mage, you would definitely have gotten all their complete spell list, whether it's Rydia or Palin. Tella, though, would be different, though.
This is one of those rare seeds where Rydia is learning Medio, most likely.
It's almost guaranteed. If you don't do enough if you don't do every doable monster box in the LST, you'd probably be okay. Dragons.
Oh yeah.
Double Bime.
Yeah, these things, of course, will do a blizzard periodically. I think that's based on what their current HP is.
Yeah.
So we want to get the HP out of here as fast as we possibly can.
It's not that bad. Well, that's been pretty healthy, so yeah, it's not that bad. If you had a protect ring, it would be almost comical the amount of damage, though. But not as important.
We're shaking Oogie-mus there. Here's gonna heal up.
I think it's about almost rocks time.
I'm gonna be going there right now. There's rocks. Okay.
That the Edward gets. Yep.
As Edward has stupid amounts of HP over on Keddril's side, almost 2,600 HP at this point.
That's the last one. That is the rehearsed.
Meanwhile, there is the crack and the boom. GG to Eykir. We'll see if Eykir's going to come in for a brief interview, and it's a good time, meanwhile, to remind you to follow our runners, Eykir and Keddril. We also got Beauty and Discovery doing the restream, and Rexel doing the button pushing. Of course, we got Garrett and Deathlight over here heading away late on a Wednesday night.
Well, it's a good night for Z, I guess. Worth checking out the Discord that many of us are on, or check out the wiki. So if you want to find documentation on the internet, that's also good. And also,
okay, you got Eykir in here with us, and that all Gauntlet for Keddril did not pay out, unfortunately. So GG Eykir, nice race.
So no, all Gauntlet. I'm glad I didn't run into that.
Guess where it was?
I'm guessing White Spear Altar?
Crystal Altar.
Crystal Altar. Okay, that's close. That was one off.
Yeah, it's one of the nasty ones. The lovely Fatal Eye and all that kind of fun stuff.
Oh yeah, the triggers that take forever.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, GG on a very efficiently and well-run seed. You stayed on the blue planet for pretty much almost all the checks other than that twin harp, and it looks like it paid out pretty well for you. Want to give us your thoughts on your strategy in terms of blue planet versus moon?
Well, early game I went to the moon because I wanted to see the character. Starting with the Edward, plus also looting the moon because of the way the items are. They are not limited to the tier 5 on the moon, so I was hoping to grab a bunch of items and hopefully get a quick 100k for that spoon. I think that did work out. So got Edward online early, and then seeing Edge up there just really cemented the party. I was hoping it wasn't going to be like another Radia or another like Palon, somebody who could had some more attack power. So yeah, loot the moon, scout the bosses. It was really funny. I facepalm when I saw King Queen Evelyn at Bahamut. It's the only one I didn't scout ahead of time. So
that and Crystal. I don't think you picked Crystal Altar either, but
that was an objective, so I wasn't worried about that one.
Oh, you weren't worried about the non-objectives. Okay,
No,
some people will peek all 6 just to see if there's anything free up there. But okay,
no, I just scout the main ones, the 2, and then yeah, I skipped Bahamut because it's like I have to fly over there. I'm not going to do that one. That would really kickstarted levels though. Kind of wish I did. Yeah. But that was just Earth. Stay on the Earth. I skipped Ordeals, but just with Edge online and with Edward online, I could just blitz through things until I got slept by that one trap chest. Yeah, just then go underground, and as soon as I got Super Cannon Tower Key, I thought I was in go mode, and I wasn't. Because I forgot to take it off of my tracker from the last practice I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that can sometimes happen.
So I was very confused. I didn't get the first Super Smith item. It's like, wait, didn't I do 4? Why don't I have that? That's why I was checking my things in there. It's like, which one? Oh, I still have 3 to do. Oops.
Okay, so that explains why you went into the menu and were looking at the objective list at that point. Okay, I get it.
Yep. Yeah, and then finding package on the moon was the thing. I think also going into taking that hook and going right into the hook route really helped because Earth led to a key item, and I think Pinktail was also down there.
Yep, we just saw in your spoiler that the Magnus you skipped was the rat tail. Go figure.
Oh, yeah. I could have completely skipped just gone from the moon straight to the boss. Oh well. That passed. I wasn't worried.
Yeah, you had pass. But it's a question. It's like sometimes you want to go, you finish on the moon, and because you don't have to pass, or that's just the way the seed plays out. I'm going to finish the whole moon, and it's like, well, now we're back to the blue planet, and here we go.
Yeah, it just worked out that I could just go to the moon, get my last item, then leave. If I didn't have pass, I might have been more inclined to do Twin Heart first. But I had pass, so it's like, okay, just whatever I find up there, I do and go. I don't need to make the 5-minute dive back.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we were kind of in the booth wondering about, these ridiculous chains. It's like, hey, maybe it's, something like Cave Magnus into Pan into, Rat into Pink or something. Then we saw, of course, the Pink showed up or somewhere. It's like, oh, well, that's not going to happen now. So, yeah, I mean, as far as the routing goes, I don't really have any other questions in terms of that. I just asked your opinion of the flag set generally. I mean, obviously banned Mega Flares, so what's your thoughts of the seed itself, or the flag set itself?
I think the flag set's interesting. You get 3 characters, so you have to really pick a party well. You have one that's forced, your starting character, and doing some practices. I've skipped doing the second one sometimes, even like gone to scout who the characters were. You saw me doing that, going up to Hobbs, going to the moon, going to check Baron Inn, just see what can I get early, what do I want to be in my party, and if the Porom was, if I saw Rosa somewhere, I might have just reset and taken Rosa's over the Porom that started. I've done that in a few of my practices where I wasn't happy with my second character, and there were better options on the moon to fill out a party with, or in that Baron Inn. In this one, I mean, Edward, having Edward start, having that 100k spoon really makes a difference there because you can get Edward just power early and just overwhelm everything. If I didn't have Edward, that beginning might have been a little bit more interesting because the only thing that's really worth it is the curse ring of the adamant armor. I'd probably be looting a bit more to try to get stuff. And I think that whole looting thing to get that spoon or the adamant armor is a great addition to this flag set because it gives you something to do besides I'm just going to go get key items. It gives you that extra power on the 3-person party. I do like
Yeah.
the dark moon objectives too, being that little second set. It's like you have to do some moon things. You get darkness immediately, so you have that option for an extra character. Scout them out, get some items. I just like the way all the objectives split out into the moon stuff, the key item stuff, and then you have to do a bit of both.
Yeah, and I think overall it's like, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's a question always of it's like, do you want to go for the adamant armor or do you want to go for the speed of just simply go as fast as you can? I think there's a general preference towards looting for that adamant armor just because it's so good and the party is so limited. It's like you'd like to have at least one character that's pretty much indestructible, you know?
Yeah, it depends how early you can get it too. If you don't, I got it fairly early. I got the spoon first, and then I did my dive into hook route, and then came out with the adamant armor money, and that made it worth it. But if it weren't for that, but it had the adamant armor money, I still have to go underground without it. It also depends on your party. If you get a party like you got Cecil, Rosa, Fusoya, you don't need adamant armor. You just go.
Most likely, but especially it's like because in that case with Cecil, it's like, well, you're at least saving one holy sword, not selling it, and things of that sort. But you actually wait, you can't get Cecil in food because the flags that won't allow it. But that's a whole.
It will, because you can start with Cecil, and your second character can be anybody, including food. I've had a practice team that started Cecil food. It was crazy.
Yes.
That's it. Okay, I forgot about that. I always forget how that stupid second partner works.
Tell is the one that you can't start with, so you can't.
Yeah.
You only can only get him as the second person. But I have seen Fu as the partner twice now. It's just okay. Well, you take him, obviously. It's hard to pass up
Yeah,
Cecil, too.
Fu is difficult to pass on if he is the partner for sure. Oh, with the DKC, it's one of those questions of it's like, how long is it going to take me to get this online?
Yeah, that's otherwise
I've
three-face ordeals. You need to have a decent damage to get through it, and depending on your other partner, then maybe they can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Fu's where it's like there is ice 3 on the very first fight you take. I've seen it where it's like, nope, nuke is the first useful spell you're getting, and it's about 10 or 12 fights in.
Yeah, a lot of randomness, but that's why we play the C's, because randomness is fun.
I hope so.
I enjoy it. That's why I kept this flag set, because I just like the challenge of having a 3-person party.
Definitely. I think you ran it very well again, and Deathlick, any questions here for Eykir before we say goodnight?
I guess I have one real question. Of how, like, based on your the strength of the starting character, how often do you think you've had to like restart a seed or just kind of reset quite a bit just to try, like, to get find the best second character you could get out of whatever you start with?
I think I've done like 7 practices on this one. 6 plus the actual qualifier race, and I've reset twice back to either ditching the second character or taking the second character. So it's not common, but I mean that's just about under 30%, about 30% of the time. All depends on the characters I get and how comfortable I am with them. Other people may not do that because they can run any 3-person party, but it's all about comfort for me.
I mean, given that being the challenge, like, I mean, Rydia starts or well, not necessarily Edward start, but like maybe a DKC start could be pretty scary, couldn't it?
It can be. The one of the ones I reset was a Rydia Sid, just because I don't care for Sid that much. I mean, he's good early game, but in late game, he's not really great for Zeronis. And so I found like a Palom, and I found a Kane, and I was like, okay, well, I want those 2 instead, so I reset back out, didn't take the Sid, and got the Kane and Palom instead, because that was a solid party with Rydia being healer. So that's an example of what I would reset out of.
Oh yeah, sure, certainly. I thought Sid as second character in this flag set is not very appealing unless you actually are forced to, like, you have no other choice.
Right, yeah, like this one we had Porom as second character and Porom in the Baron Inn, so there's one less option for early game. But I'll take Porom any day because a white mage gets you through the seed, either Porom or Rosa, and Rydia in a pinch with Asura. and Sylph. The healing. I've seen people do it without the healing and just go full like double black mage Kane or double black mage Cecil. And it's like, that's a little weird on Zeromus. I'm not sure I want to Cure 3 heal everything.
Oh yeah, but I like the spiciness. I love the spiciness. At least if you've at least try it once, it might be a spicy attempt. At least it'd be interesting. I'm sure.
It would be. I was actually I bought all those
The
wall rings, just the wall items, just so I could maybe I do 1200 strats here if there's gonna be a really fast seed. I didn't do it, so I was happy about that.
Yeah, I'm out of questions, but GG's again, Eykir.
Yeah, thanks for the comms, thanks for the tracking, everybody, and thanks for putting on the stream. I was a little worried about it. I haven't been really good on stream lately, but worked out.
Hey, well, thanks for volunteering. We always appreciate it. And have yourself a very good night and best of luck on your race next week.
Yep, thank you very much. Have a good night, everyone.
Great, good night. Okay. Meanwhile, Keddril has gotten, I think, all the items it needs to complete the seed now. We're just gonna go to Mist and escort the victim, or the survivor, I should say, to Kaipo. So we're gonna check the Sand Ruby, and that should be the end of things, and we get the crystal.
Shouldn't be too long. I mean, I find myself especially rolling a lot of Palom seeds because I don't know why I like Quake Kid, but the kind of interesting things that can be done when you are running without a white mage in one of these seeds, they are really, really spicy. I mean,
I've definitely run some Mega Flares where I've not had a white mage. It's certainly interesting. You'd like Rydia there for the Ashura if you're going to run that way, I suppose. Otherwise, you better be loading up on Cure 3s somewhere and having a chemist. I generally do like a white mage, but again, the question is how long are you to wait for your white mage? Because maybe your white mage is only on the
Dwarf Castle.
Dwarf Castle or something. Not necessarily Dwarf Castle. I mean, something that's buried. I mean,
you mean behind Sand Ruby, locked behind many other different things?
Yeah, it's like if you're only white mages, let's say it's a Sand Ruby, and that Sand Ruby, or there's gonna be at least two actually. Let's say it's a Sand Ruby and it's a package, and they're both buried behind some chains that start on the moon somewhere. It's like you're not probably taking the moon without having your party filled out for the most part. So it just depends on. It's like I'd like a white mage in almost all circumstances, but the seed sometimes says no because you don't want to wait an hour into the seed to pick up your third-party member if you're waiting for a white mage. Yeah. It takes that long to get there because it's like at that point it's like, well, your white mage is now still base level. Yeah, your experience is probably 4x, but you can't slingshot them. So I mean, you're gonna have to take a bunch of fights then to get them up to the Z levels, and that just takes more time. And it's like, And all the other fights are a little bit slower just because you only have two.
It's just what makes that second character really important. If you don't like your hero, the second character is the most important character. The first character you pick up essentially is the most important character in the seed, effectively.
Well, from my personal perspective, if I have a Yang hero, it's like, okay, that's not great because Yang takes a while to get online. It's like you can't really do a whole lot of things without the right set of claws, without the right equipment, especially if the seed is giving you reject percent characters. It's like, okay, here's a Sid, here's a here's a telepartner. Here's a Kane, there's no Avenger. Here's a Rydia, and there's no good orbs.
Kind of makes that looting a lot more important too early on. Especially you want to get someone online, but you need enough loot to get them online, and that becomes an interesting thing. I mean, you also want to buy the adamant, of course, but you want to get at least a weapon for them especially if there's a Zerker.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, these aren't going to be real good weapons to buy here. I mean, the only thing you're really looking for is You have a cane, you're looking for a dwarf axe. You have an edge, you're looking for a boomerang or a full moon. Most of the other ones, like, they're not hard to back row. Those two can be a little bit challenging. And of course, Yang isn't getting back rowed unless you have Jabrun running the seed, and Jabrun which to get the
Lilith harp,
the-
or the
yeah,
Lilith charm harp out of the ceiling from a Lilith. Yes, that
Yeah.
plan.
yeah,
That's
so
a plan.
It is a plan, but unless you're Jabrun, I don't think anyone else is pulling it off. I know I saw Jabrun in the chat earlier. I'm not sure if he's still around, but anyways, shout out to managing to find all of the glitches and tricks that nobody else really thinks of. Keddril, meanwhile, is starting to take on this Oogimus, so we will see I'm going to see a crack and a boom pretty quick here because Keddril has got a lot more HP and levels than Eykir did when this was taken. So, I mean...
Just let the mindless Zerking do all the work. And with the heal every so often after a Big Bang. That's what over-leveling is good for at this point.
Yes. Well, I mean, again, the smallest HP is Porum with 2,700. I mean, everyone can pretty much eat an unnerfed Big Bang here. Even a Wombo combo isn't going to really hurt that much because Edge is going to be pretty much immune to that. So I think this is going to be a fairly brief affair.
I think with the magic number was like 7,000 for per turn for if all the characters have gone Zerking over 7,000, I think is the magic number. For
that's definitely being hit here. We got over 10,000 just from the at least 9,000 looks like from the Edge and Eddie combo. So they'll be fine.
Yeah, it's pretty safe.
Okay.
I think even if the Porum keels over, the Zerking will be more than enough. Until they get, unless Black Hole comes along. Depends on how. I think the Dawn damage might be able to prevent Black Hole from even getting there.
Yeah, we'll see. Meanwhile, of course, if Porum does actually drop in this particular thing, we're going to tell her to eat her vitamins because she definitely needs them in that case. There is no reason that at 2,700 she should be healing over.
No, Edward is more likely to keel over, but
Edward has 2,800 HP here. So, I mean, it's like he's got more. He doesn't have the dodging skills that Porum does, but I mean, Porum's got a little brother to teach her all that. There's the unnerfed Big Bang. It's no big deal. It's only 1,500-ish. We can heal that.
It should be more than enough. We should be should be there.
Yeah, here's Rods. Okay.
Didn't even show up. That's good. That's the ideal situation.
Is Porum the older twin? Don't actually know. There's the crack bang boom. GG to Keddril. Now time of 139.27, so just about 20 minutes, and that's a bit of luck of the draw of the solution was eventually the hook route, and Keddril had faded originally, so that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. It looks like we'll be getting an interview with Keddril here in just a second. And that ding in the ear says GG to Keddril.
Hello.
All right.
That was an interesting start. I feel like I have continuously misread these flags, running around on the moon like a fool, opening up all the trap chests. I just wrote everything above.
Well, the moon is above, but it's not exactly doesn't have anything, unfortunately.
Yep, I got a lot of levels, so I was able to breeze through everything that was there, but spent a lot of time on those trap chests being like, there's just nothing here. So that is a big blunder on my part there.
It happens sometimes. in this particular tournament, I don't think there's any moon chests that have any key items in them, but we've had some of those things before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we turn it around sometimes. Like Zanatsuken, they don't matter at all. In Mega Flare, it's just the ones above, and in Tsunami, it's the ones below.
Yeah.
So we never really caught on that that's what you were trying to go for. We just like we're trying to get levels.
Oh, well, yeah, let's go with that. That
So-
works for me.
Other than the glitch on the flags, I did have a question for you. I know that you'd gotten the hook fairly early, but
Yeah.
you didn't choose to check the hook rod. Is that because you forgot those chests were in play?
Sorry, what was that?
Is that because you forgot those chests were in play on the hook route? The Ailman and the Mad Ogres?
No, I forget exactly what I did after I got the hook, but I remember thinking about going there, and I thought, no, wherever I'm heading now probably will be a bit better, which clearly it was not.
As it turned out in this particular seed, the hook route was kind of the decisive thing because it gave 2 key items, I think, in that route.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, if you fade it, you need to find the other 2. And I don't remember exactly where Pan was from the spoiler log, but it was somewhere kind of buried.
I'd have to imagine. I would think probably either behind Tower or Bagan.
Yeah, maybe check and tell me where it was exactly. I don't remember on that one. Yeah.
Probably Baron, I think.
Ooh. Yeah,
And that
buried
could-
in there somewhere deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it, Eykir? Did they what was kind of the route that they took there?
Well, I mean, you guys were just mirroring each other for a lot for the first part of the seed. I mean, he did some things first, and then you went there later, and then vice versa. He did some things that you had already done.
Yeah.
Really, the big decisive thing was that, again, Eykir had checked out the hook route, had those extra key items, did the Tower of Zot, got the Sand Ruby, and things of that sort. So when Eykir went to the moon, he had 3 objectives from Group A done. You had 1, and that
Yeah.
was really kind of the difference because as soon as he did the ribbon room, well, hey, there's go mode. So
Yeah,
didn't have
with
to worry
the
about
package.
anything with the package. Didn't have to worry about anything else on the moon. Didn't have to worry about checking other altars. It didn't go. And yeah, I know Rat and I'd seen where Rat was at some point. Well, again, I go back and
Yeah.
watch the pod, but the spoiler log is on the restream at some point.
Oh yeah. I'll have
Rat was behind the twin harp. Okay, there we go.
Oof.
it's
Oh
been a
my
while.
gosh.
Yeah, and Eykir had the twin harp from earlier, but decided not to check that one.
Yeah. So we had a bit of a split there. I get so drawn towards looting to get that adamant armor so early. So I know I spend quite a bit of time on these flags, just running around grabbing Baron and Toroya, just to try and get as much money as I can. So I'm sure that probably set me a bit behind as well.
Yeah, although it was kind of interesting when you were first on the moon. I saw there were several of the chests like on the deeper end of the LST. You didn't
Mhm.
loot those initially. I was kind of wondering if there was a reason behind that.
The reason is I opened up the flag set and realized that there are no key items in the chest on the moon.
Well, no, but I mean, I'm talking about the free ones, not the ones with monsters in them.
Oh. Like
Yeah,
in the
they're-
Lunar Path?
Yeah, they're on gate. They're like unrestricted. It's like essentially best loot possible.
Yeah,
Possibly.
What I'm getting at there is I'll back up a little bit. So when you first went onto the lunar subterranean, you were looting the chests that don't have monsters and all the free ones.
Yeah.
But then when you got down to about the LST 5 and 6, you started passing on the chests that don't have anything and that are they're safe. Those 3 on LST 6, the the pink puff chest, the one chest in the corner there on the passage down through 5. I was just kind of curious why you were skipping some of those because I mean that they have cash in there, and it looked like you were going for the adamant, which you did.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. It was just a curiosity there because I kind of remember you started skipping them. And I was like, oh, okay. I figured you were going to peek the bosses in there in that sense, but
In the lunar subterrane?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I know I skipped in Land of Summon Monsters to peek the bosses. By the time I get to lunar, I already had adamant. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm misremembering that. I thought you had looted early down LST.
Oh,
I think
no.
that's Eykir.
No.
That's Eykir.
No,
That's
that was the end.
Okay, I flipped it around. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do?
To be really curious is you didn't actually do it. Yeah. Okay. It's late. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun seed. I was I'll say surprised and a bit happy to see an Edward and a Porum at the beginning there. So a little bit sweating a little bit at the beginning. So I hope
you got the
people
edge
enjoyed that.
at the edge pretty quick. It was the ideal party for an Edward hero seed, like right there. It's like you have to work for it at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and peeking the Rydia on Hobbs, and then pulling so many summon spells like Leviathan and Sylph and Asura, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I am so tempted to get some early damage, but I held out and just went to check the moon and was super thankful that Edge was there.
Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, there was also a Blargor or two we saw on the stream too.
Oh.
So yeah, Rydia had everything in this particular seed, except I didn't really see a whole lot of here to help rather than the tiara. It's like I saw any black robe. I don't think I saw any Sork or any sort of good weapons for her.
Yeah, so like even my Porum, I don't think I really put anything on them until I got the white shirt.
Yeah, Hero and Robe would have been nice for arty bow, arty arrows, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
It just didn't show up.
Nope.
Which happens sometimes.
For sure.
Death, you want to jump in with any questions there? Maybe about things that Keddril actually did do in the seed, whereas my memory is faulty.
I guess the only question I have is so I mean, I'm sure you've played a number of practice seeds. I guess have you tested like the amount of about being thorough in the overworld or in underground before trying going to the moon, or have kind of finding a happy balance of when you decide to go moon?
Yeah, I mean, this is where I'll admit this is only my third seed of this flag set. I did one practice when it was first announced, and then just the async, and then this one. But I was feeling it in this one, like spending some time looting Baron and Toroya. Like the treasures that were being pulled out there they weren't really great. So I was spending a lot of time like thinking about should I just finish up the overworld and then go underworld? And I think I had a lot of hesitation when I was down in the underworld, kind of just scrambling around a little bit and trying to think about where I want to go, like double dipping Land of Summon Monsters. Clearly that was a bit of a waste of time, and I went in there really low to begin with. Like had I had my adamant armor, I could have beaten Waterhag pretty easy. And just trying not to leave anything behind. I think I probably could have benefited a lot from doing some more save scumming, like top of Lower Babel. There's no reason I needed to do that. I think I was very stubborn on ordeals, and since I didn't save after the second boss and I didn't want to lose my levels, I just did Golbez, and I was sitting there being like, what a fool. What am I doing?
Golbez
I probably
at least want him to shoot, right?
Pardon?
Gulpus always shows up where you least want him to, right?
I know. I definitely could have just reset and just easily done those fights again and got my levels and diffed out, but I was just kind of stuck on that one. But I think if I was to play the flag set again, I would definitely I don't think I would spend so much time on my overworld doing the looting. I think I'd try and get to the underworld as fast as possible and then build up my characters. I do have a question for you guys. Is it vanilla monster in boxes?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
That would have made your looting so much easier. I think that the only flag set that doesn't have that is the tsunami. So
Okay.
it's this and
This and
Zanzuki.
both have
Yeah.
vanilla. Yeah. So,
Okay, I must just be really poorly reading the website. I just can't see, like, I was checking, I'm like, this like, the fact that every chest I'm pulling is vanilla and I'm looting everything else, oh gosh. So that would, like, more practice definitely would have benefited me, and questions. I could have asked questions, so.
yeah, one other thing that both you and Eykir did is you both tried to steal from the alerts in Lower
Yep.
Babel, and then you realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting cure
When I
one.
got a cure one, I was like, well, I'm out.
Yeah, unfortunately, in this flag set, let's see. Yeah, you're not going to ever find sirens unless I believe they might be in the forge, and that is the only place you're going to find them. Just because it's
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 S
right
Pro.
there.
it's S Pro, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, we also have the setting on where is it there? It's somewhere in there. E-toggle no sirens is also on, so
Yeah.
once the sirens are out of the table, if you want to steal your Bacchus wines, your silk webs, you can still do that. But we said no to sirens because with 4 times the experience,
Yeah.
it's kind of just not interesting. At least my opinion.
I will say, like, I really do appreciate the kind of the new ways there are to get experience. So having the extra objectives in Group D and getting those multipliers, like, it's a lot different than, I guess, just how the randomizer used to be. Like, oh, let's just get our darkness crystal and go do D-machine grind, or let's just find a shop with sirens. Like, I think it really expands kind of the way that you can approach the seeds.
Well, basically, it's taking that 5 minutes of either egg cracking or deep or whatever else your preference
sure.
is. And it's like you're just going more. I think, and the objectives out having to deviate from the path. Like, okay, I got to take a pause here and get the levels, and then we'll go back to the seed. It's like everyone takes a 5-minute coffee and popcorn break or something like that.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah.
We're trying to eliminate some of the quality of life issues sometimes with playing this game. And it's like,
Yeah.
not that we already hadn't done a lot, but it's like, it's.
Well, I'll do anything to avoid a Mac Giant grind, so.
Don't give us any ideas in the event you might up getting one again. All right. I hope you had fun. Glad you're enjoying the seed so far, and maybe a little more practice, and come back the next time and learn a little bit more.
For sure. Thank you all for the work you put in. Have a good night.
Thanks. Have a good night. Good race.
Good night.
All right. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight on the Free Enterprise. Anyways, we are going to take a raid over to Taylor Swifting, who is running a Zenitsuken practice currently. So hopefully the seed wasn't finished while we've been yammering over here for the last 15, 20 minutes or so. We're going to send you over to Taylor Swifting, and meanwhile, thanks again to our runners, Eykir and Keddril, for volunteering tonight. Thanks again to Beauty and Discovery for rolling the seed and doing the restream. Rexo for pushing all the buttons and not eating any of them. And good talking with you again here, Deathlike. Hopefully we can do it again sometime.
That was a lot of fun. I hope we catch. I hope you see you guys drop on the Discord. Maybe roll a seed or visit the wiki because it has all the information without a talking about it. You can just read the stat sheets, Excel, and whatnot, and visit the website because hey, that's where you roll all these seeds.